Come on, Moondrop. Now an audio company thinks it could build a good keyboard? Y'all think it's that easy? I saw that Fio one before and that was mad ugly. Alright, this one not bad, but I mean, come on. I guess it ain't that hard to design a good looking board, y'all got lucky. But true test, it's the sound. Y'all can make some good headphones, but keyboard sound? Nuh-uh, not the same thing. Okay. Looks like you guys did some homework, okay. But I mean, you can just watch YouTube now to learn how to tune a keyboard, so you know what? No biggie, bro, no biggie. But this thing got a headphone DAC and an amp inside this keyboard. I bet it's so weak, it can't even drive my 300 ohm Sennheisers. No way. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Scott K. You know what? This keyboard right here, it makes me mad. It's not because it's a bad keyboard. It's not because it was made by an audio company. It's the opposite. An audio company took a first stab at making a high-end mechanical keyboard. And guess what? They made one better than many keyboard companies make. That is what makes me mad. You keyboard guys, what the heck are y'all doing out there? Many pre-builds can't even tune a stabilizer right. I mean, look at some of the pre-builds from Drop, and I could tell you, the stabs on those are atrocious. And it still costs $350. The GMMK Pro pre-build, that's $350. And guess what? The Dash from Moondrop will cost $299 when it launches. That's not cheap, I know, but that price includes a fully built keyboard with CNC aluminum construction, a very nice pre-loop switches, thick PBT keycaps, built-in USB hub, and Moondrop's own headphone DAC amp combo that normally costs around $200 by itself. Wait, so all the rest of the keyboard is just $100 then? I don't get it. Let's let the confusion begin. You got a peek of the box early on, but it's an interesting one. It's made of laser-cut stacked cardboard. You know, it's very environmentally friendly. Along with the keyboard, you also get a standard coiled USB-C cable, extra Moondrop Lunalite linear switches, an actually nice stainless steel keycap puller, and a worthwhile switch puller that works for a change. Like this one, it's huge, it's thin, and it works awesome. You keyboard companies that are still giving out those puny little C-shaped switch pullers, shame on you. Then there's the actual keyboard. They went for this retro look with the dash. It kind of reminds me of an NES console. A lot of the aesthetic details point to that as well. And even the keycaps, it has this 8-bit pixelated design. If you look at the side profile, you can see that the dash, it actually features a machined polycarbonate bottom. And below that, you got these flippy feet mechanisms that allow you to adjust the typing angle as well. In addition, the dash comes with a USB-A hub where you can connect other peripherals right into the keyboard itself. And it also features a 3.5mm and a 4.4mm headphone sockets feeding into the DAC and amp. Overall, this is a very sharp looking board. It has a nice milky white E-coat finish. You remember the whole Sense thing with the E-coat? If I had to nitpick anything about its appearance, it'll be this. The badging is a little bit too in your face. I wish they made it a little bit more minimal. And below the keyboard, the PC bottom is great and all, but the finish, it does attract a lot of oils very easily. And finally, to access the screws, you kind of have to rip the feet off, and you do this a few times, the feet won't stick on anymore, so just keep that in mind. But I don't think the keyboard was ever designed to be ripped apart. Why? Because it sounds like this straight out of the box. Literally. I don't think I've heard another pre-built keyboard with stabs that sounded that good. Once again, this is an audio company that built this thing, not a keyboard one. So I got curious on how the dash was actually designed, so I started to take it apart. A lot of interesting things were found during this process. Remove the keycaps and you'll find Moondrop's own switches. These are actually called Lunalites. They're actually surprisingly good. These are a light action linear with 60-gram bottom out from the KOS stainless steel springs in a nylon housing. They're factory lubed, but altogether delivers a ping-free, tight and ultra-smooth typing experience right out of the box. They are on the higher pitch side though, but I think that was the theme of this whole entire board, and I'll explain this later. Pull them out and you can see that the PCB is a south-facing hot swap with PE foam and mid-plate foam already installed. Okay, I see that you guys did some homework here. One of you keyboard guys working together with Moondrop in secret or something? What about the plate? When I removed all the caps, I saw that the dash is actually using an integrated plate design. Integrated plates are typically stiffer to type on, so keep that in mind if you are actually considering this keyboard. I wanted to learn more, so I took it apart even more. Moondrop uses the most Chad-like screws to put this thing together. These are like 2 inches long and thicker than anything you should actually find on a keyboard. Take the bottom off and you see that the Moondrop included a pour-on case foam. But wait, what's under this thing? What? This thing has a tape mod. Seriously? They actually used 2 layers of masking tape to do a factory stock tape mod on the dash. Seriously, who's working with Moondrop, guys? Remove the tape and you can see the KO hot swap sockets below. And what else? This thing uses screw-in stabs, not plate mount ones. So at this point, this is the conclusion I made. Moondrop either has someone on the inside that really loves mechanical keyboards, or the audio and mechanical keyboard hobbies are like starting to collide into each other, or maybe Shubes is like critical in disguise, I don't know. But before I start to go into the audio part of this keyboard, a quick word from our sponsor, PCBWay. PCBWay is an online service that helps you print PCBs, do 3D printing, or even CNC machining. If you're an aspiring keyboard designer or whatever else designer, you can take your design and simply upload it to get something made quick. Or, if you have the source code for a PCB that you already have and you need a replacement, you can also get that done as well. They can handle all types of PCBs from your simple single layer designs to multi-layer stacks. Beyond PCBs, if you want to try making your own case, PCBWay can machine that as well. Now, a very exciting new service that PCBWay offers, OEM. Instead of just making a single component, you can actually task PCBWay to be an OEM manufacturer and make the whole thing. They can do anything from PCBs to CNC cases to even assembly. And using global manufacturing, they can offer very competitive prices. Is there a keyboard on the horizon? Well, check out OEM at PCBWay. So you should know by now what I think about the dash from a keyboard perspective. Albeit it's an integrated plate design, besides that, this thing is top notch, especially as a first go around at a keyboard from a hi-fi audio company. At $299, even if you remove that DAC and amp, I think it's still a better offering than something like a pre-built control from Drop, or even that new Sense keyboard, you know? But you do get the DAC and amp. For those that are not aware of what a DAC is, it's a digital to analog converter. So if you listen to music from like your PC or your phone or whatever, right? The format inside is digital, but your ears can't really hear a bunch of ones and zeros, right? So a DAC will convert the digital signal into something analog that actually sounds like Taylor Swift's beautifully shrill voice. In addition, there are many headphones or cans out there that require more power to actually drive it to make noise. You plug in high impedance headphones like straight into your phone or your computer, it's going to sound so quiet. Hence why you need an amp. It delivers more voltage to the headphones to drive them properly to make the sound that you're looking for. So Moondrop decided to shove in their Moonriver 2 DAC amp combo into the dash. Mind you, the Moonriver 2 typically is around $189, so it's not some cheapo DAC amp they stuck in there. They put in a legitimate, fairly high quality DAC amp into this $299 keyboard. So I want to say that I'm by no means an audiophile. I don't have crazy high-end equipment, nor am I qualified to really talk about it objectively. So no curves, no technical terms from me whatsoever. However, I do like high quality sound. I don't have a lot of equipment, but I do own a few decent headphones, like this AKG 553s and the Sennheiser HD6XX, powered by a topping DX3 Pro. Now, in addition, Moondrop sent me a set of their newest planar magnetic Stellaris IEMs to test out with the dash. With these various listening devices, I was able to try out and compare the Moonriver 2 inside the dash. I can tell you, from a power perspective, the Moonriver 2 in the Dash has absolutely no issues driving more power-hungry cans. The Sennheiser HD6XX I have is a 300 ohm impedance headphone, which means it has a lot of resistance and requires higher voltages to drive it. Dash drives it beautifully. Lower impedance units like the AKG 553s or the Stellaris can be driven to levels that will really damage your hearing. Versus just plugging it into your PC or your phone, the Moonriver 2 really helps to add more body and details to your music and makes everything sound much fuller and also more dynamic. It does all this with a very low noise floor with virtually dead silence, even when you plug in something like the Stellaris, which is an IEM, and they typically hear more noise out of it if the noise floor is higher. One thing to note is that the Moonriver 2 is a brighter sounding DAC and AM combo. It definitely emphasizes the treble more and pushes clarity in music versus staying dead neutral. This may also make the DAC appear a little bit colder sounding as well. This was especially evident when listening to the planar driven Stellaris, which also emphasizes treble, so it's like treble on top of treble. Remember when I said the keyboard typing sound was a little bit on the higher end of the frequency? Yup, they essentially tuned every aspect of this keyboard to be more clacky. So I went into this review not expecting much. An audio company is trying to break into keyboards? Probably won't do a great job. The DAC is probably cheap. Overall, it's probably an overpriced novelty. And then, I actually tried it and it was a really sobering slap to the face. I can honestly say that Moondrop really impresses with the Dash, especially given that this is their first attempt at this, and I really wonder how much better they'll get with their future versions as well. At $299, I would say that this is the better choice at a pre-built versus somewhere out there that are made by actual keyboard peripheral companies. I would actually take this Dash over a pre-built GMMK Pro any day. For a smaller price tag, you get much more with the Dash. Before I leave you, I shoved in some Oil Kings into the Dash to see how a deeper switch sounded like on this, so enjoy and thanks for watching.